Okay, welcome to the Creative City Center. I'm Karlie King, and today's quick craft is a braided rug. So this one, super simple materials again, what's needed to make this quick craft. Pair of scissors and some t-shirt material. So if you have some old t-shirts that you're not able to donate, or you don't want to donate, they're special to you, or they're just laying around and you can craft with them, this is the perfect project for them. So I'm going to be using, I actually have a piece of fabric that is t-shirt material, but like I say, if I hadn't have had this, I would have I've got a bag of t-shirts at home that I'm waiting to, that I was going to take and donate, but I could do the same with those t-shirts. Okay, so also the demo today is for this, it's kind of almost like a coaster style, or what are they called, trivets? Like you could use it for a hot plate on a table this size. But if you like this craft, you can keep going and you can have a really large braided rug actually. Sometimes if you go into what I'm thinking of, what comes to mind with these is, you know, old farmhouses that are decorated in period style. They had braided rugs in them. And actually a lot of them were made not just from t-shirt materials, but women used to wear stockings quite regularly, and so they would keep all their stockings and they would make braided rugs from the stockings. So this is the style of rug that we're making today. Okay, so let's get started. You're going to take your t-shirt material. So if you have a t-shirt, what I would suggest is just to cut off the arms and then cut it across the chest so that you have a square piece of fabric. Then what you're going to do is, like you want stretchy material. I guess that's the point, right? That's what stockings were like, t-shirt material, that kind of thing. Okay, so once you have your square material, you're going to rip 3 strips of fabric. And this applies for all, well, most fabric, not all, but most fabric. If you cut it against the grain, so I don't know if you can see this, but even though this is t-shirt material, you can see that the grain of the fabric goes this way. So if you need to cut a square or strips of fabric, if you cut against the grain, and it tears really easy. And I don't know why, but I find it super satisfying doing this. So if you need help with your strips, I can help you out. I just love doing this. So the other thing we want to keep in mind is we want the strips to be the same size. So if you want to just use like the thickness of your thumb, let's say, for the strips, okay? And then you just tear the fabric. Okay, that'll be our first one. That must have been uneven. That's okay. That's actually a good thing. We'll move this here. We'll start maybe on this side. Did I tear it on this side? Yeah, I did. Okay, so here we go. We'll get rid of the uneven part of it, and then we'll start with our, I'm going to cut 3. We'll say the width of my thumb. So 1, 2, 3 strips. It's thicker there, so I'll have to trim that up. Oh, there's a little sticker on here. Let's put that to the side. I'm going to trim this so that they're all the same thickness. Okay, so there's one strip. This is extra. This is extra. I'm just going to put these on the floor so they don't get in our way. And where's my other cut I did? Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, they want to Maybe we will start with the short little one. Oh, not that short. Okay, so we have our 3 strips, and again, I'm going to trim this up just a little bit so that they're more along the same width. Oh, right there. Okay. Maybe I'll trim it from the other end. Let's see how that works. All right. This is our short one here, though, isn't it? Let's start with this and see where it goes. Okay. So, to begin, you'll need to know how to braid. And if you don't know how to braid, this is perfect. This is your opportunity to learn. Okay, so with braiding, you have 3 strands. So to start your rug, you're going to take your 3 strands, and tie them in a knot. Now this knot you want really tight. You kind of want it small because it's actually going to go in the middle of your rug. And you want to tie it, if you can, so it kind of lays a little bit flatter than usual. Now we'll trim these off after, but to start, we'll go like this. Okay, so first we'll just start with braiding, and I'll show you how to braid, and then I'll show you how to braid the rug together. So I'm just going to use a little bit of tape to secure the top of it so that I can do the braiding demo to begin with. Okay, let's secure that there. Okay, so if you don't know how to braid, you're going to learn. So you have your 3 strands, and you're going to take the outside strand and carry it over the middle strand. Then take your left outside strand and carry it over the middle strand. And you just keep going. So all braiding is always taking the outside strands and looping them over the middle. And that's all braiding is. So outside left, outside right, outside left, outside right. Now I'm braiding this actually relatively loosely. If you braid it too tight, it's hard to weave into the rug. So tension, whenever you're dealing with anything with yarn, knitting, crocheting, any kind of the textiles is the word for fabric crafts, fabric art. Tension is really, really important. So for this one, you want it, you want to be able to see the pattern, but you want it a little bit looser. Otherwise, the rug will actually kind of start to go concave or bevel, start to turn in, right, from the pressure. Okay, so once you've braided a little bit of the rug, you can take the tape off, and you're going to, I'm going to trim these off now, actually. Okay, so you're going to start to curve the rug. Now I got to think. If you watched my other one, I've pre-warned you, I'm a total creature of habit. I usually always work in one direction, and I'm incapable of working in the other direction. I don't know if other people are like that, but that's definitely me. Okay, so you're going to start by curving the rug in a circle. Now, again, if you want to keep that tape to begin with, we're going to need a little bit more braided here to get you going, then do so for sure. Okay, so then you start in a circle. Now, once you've come around full circle for the beginning, you start, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to hold this with one hand, and you're going to start braiding into, maybe let's say we'll start when it's tiny, a tiny ring, we're going to start braiding into every third outside loop. And then when it gets larger, we'll see how often we have to do it to secure it. But to start, we've come around, this is our first circle. So you're going to take that far left strand of your braid, and this is why it's important to have stretchy material. So pull out a bit of the previous braid and loop it through. I think my scissors are tapping or something's tapping here. Okay, there we go. Oh, see, it's handy already. Okay, so you open up that loop, pull the left strand through it, and then braid a little bit. So when I was practicing this for this video, I think I was counting 5 or 3 strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, it must have been 5. 5, yeah. Okay, so 5 times over, curve it a little bit around, then pull out an outside loop, make a little hole there, take the left strand, pull it through, and then braid some more. And again, I counted in my mind 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then curve it around a little bit, pull out a loop a little bit, strand through your the left hand piece, pull it through to tighten it. So here I was like this, I'm going to redo that so you can see it was a little bit loose. But if you pull that tight, you see how it turns it right around. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then curve it around, pull out one of the outside loops so you have some space. Pull the left strand through, tighten it up. Did you see me give it a little tug to tighten it up? And then count again, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, we're starting already curving around in a circle. So like I said at the beginning, I have white, but you could do, like I went on Pinterest and was looking at some different braided rugs, and there were some really neat ones, like one that looked like a bullseye with different purples, and another one was a rainbow one. You can do like any colors that you want, right? Or you can just have a solid colored, depending, I guess, on the t-shirts that you have available to you or the fabric. Okay, so this is good. I can show you this. So as you're braiding along, and like I said, you can just keep going and going and going to however big you want it. But when the strip comes to the end here and you need more, this. So you don't want to knot, because let's suppose you do, maybe you want to make a really nice big one for the side of your bed, which would be kind of nice. You know, you get up in the morning, if you have tile floors or wooden floors, you want something warm under your feet, but you don't, when you step down, you don't want to step on a knot. So what I would suggest is move up the strip a little bit and cut a little hole. Maybe I got to move down a bit. Oh, there we go. Now I'm hearing the scissors. And then you take this and your new strand and pull it through a little bit. And that's how you join the two pieces without knotting. And again, you could go on and on. So you could do some white. Maybe then you want, like, if you wanted to do a true bullseye, then you could do some black. Totally up to you. So again, I have already done 2. So I'm going to 3, 4, 5. And then we'll tuck this little guy in so we don't see there any ends. And then pull out this loop on the side. Pull the left strand through. Give it just a little bit of a tug so that it tightens it up. But I want to show you something. If you pull too much, this is what I was talking about. If it's too tight, it starts to curl up. So just watch for that. You want it obviously together so it doesn't come apart. But if you do it too tight, it will start to, well, actually it'll turn into a basket. You could do like a braided basket with this technique if you just pull tighter and tighter every time, which is also equally cool. But we'll just focus on our rug to start. Okay, so I'm going to braid till the end of these strips, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. But keep in mind, we're just making a little coaster size, but you could keep going on and you could make as large a braided rug as you wanted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And pull it through. And just so you know, for durability, I actually made a braided rug. It was purple. I still have it. I made it when I was 9 or 10, and I really got into this. Like, it was big. Like I said, I had it on the side of my bed, and I still have that braided rug. So these last forever. So if you have a little place in the house, another place I'm thinking as you're washing dishes, maybe you want something soft under your feet. Nice, and they look cool too. And they're great use for fabric. A big part of my art practice, I'm really starting to become aware of how much of our fabrics get thrown out and not used. So I'm really trying to make a focal point of my art and crafting practice incorporating fabrics. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just a simple counting to 5, but I always think, can you imagine when you see those intricate crocheted patterns think of how much they were counting in their head at nights, like keeping track of 3 this way, 4 that way. I find that amazing. And they did it all in they're basically like yarn mathematicians. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to, for demonstration purposes, finish this off a little bit more to the end. Okay, and curl around. So now what I would do, once you've achieved whatever size of rug you want, this is where you do have to knot a little bit, otherwise it will unravel. So you have that last piece you've put through, just as if you're going to keep on braiding, but you're going to tie the 2 outside pieces together, like so. Now you shouldn't need to knot it, but I don't know. Maybe we'll just give it a little bit of, I'm going to test it out and see if it's too much for the foot. And then you're going to take that extra third strand and coil it around, maybe 2 loops, so it doesn't unravel as well. Yeah, I think you could get away with 1 here and then do the same, but you experiment and then like use your hand as a test, because you don't want, if you're going to have it underneath your feet, just make sure that the knot isn't, you know, too big. Otherwise, yeah, so then you'll trim off your extra pieces and tuck it in a little bit. And move any around. Again, benefit of stretchy fabric. And there you have your little mini braided rug. Great, so that is today's quick craft. Thank you.